these few words are very less for Praveen sir, because I have closely worked with sir, and he's a passionate, dedicated community worker, and he works a lot for communities. I don't have words to explain. He's having 18 years of experience as M&D professional at the national and international level nutrition surveys and large-scale data analytics. Proactively worked with the Population Council, International Planned Parenthood Federation, South Asia Regional Office, International HIV/AIDS Alliance in a variety of nutritional issues in India and 8 other South Asian countries. He has been leading and managing the Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey since its inception, and served as CNNS, that is Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey, Technical Advisory Committee member constituted by MOHFW, Government of India, and he has authored several peer-reviewed journal articles, books, chapters, and scientific reports. And sir, we are really lucky that you are here with us, and we all love to listen to you, and would gain whatever we want to gain from this, small talk from you. So with these words, I welcome you, sir. Please, sir. Mic is yours. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Dr. Poonam and the whole team and organizing. I mean, it's my pleasure to present CNNS in this forum. I logged in 10 minutes before and seeing the energy level of Poson quiz, so it was really interesting. And good to see, I mean, you have more than 50 participants across maybe mostly from Haryana and Punjab, right?
No, sir, from Kerala, Calcutta.
Okay, it's like across the country. Okay, good.
Number is less.
But I think the theme what you have requested, okay, but the theme what you have requested was insight about CNNS from Punjab and Haryana. So yes. I capture other slides which including national average as well as that. So hopefully, how many people out of this 51? I'm not presenting as a live, but I want to see how many out of 51 heard about CNNS before I come to my presentation. Any? No, people can hands up with their hand. Then that can be one measure or something. I don't know how you vote.
Audience, you may raise your hand if you have heard about CNNS. Yes, Savitesh, you are from my department and you are working with me.
Okay.
So, you know other else, I think.
Okay, good. I think at least 50% must be having that statistics I want to know. Then I will go in that way. Otherwise, I will cover the full presentation.
Sir,
so I can see 5 chat. Yes. 3 more minutes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. You
Dr.
can share.
Poonam?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can share it.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Share. Then I'm going to my PowerPoint. You can see my PowerPoint.
Not yet, sir. Yes, it's visible, sir.
Now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So thanks, Dr. Poonam and the whole team. As suggested, the topic, it's visible. Good. So my internet is stable. Yeah, it is. So I mean, online has its own challenges, but more participants can join. That's a good part. So in this whole Poson Ma, I was looking after your whole agenda, and it's coming since long, right? And today is the end, or tomorrow is the end? Tomorrow is the end, right? Poson Ma.
Tomorrow is the valedictory.
Right. So I'm happy to share the insights from Punjab and Haryana from the Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey with this whole group. And basically, most of the results are available in public. But I think for people who have known, please feel free to discuss, ask questions, or any query they have, because you are talking with the team. And Poonam was also Dr. Poonam was quietly involved in whole monitoring component. So it's a teamwork. I will come there. So this slide, I think people can see the second slide, right? Before CNNS. Can you confirm? You can see my slide?
Yes, sir.
We can see.
Oh, good. So this slide gives the situation of nutrition data before CNNS was out So if you see the under 5, we were having anthropometry IYCF as well as anemia indicator, but there was no data in micronutrients status as well as NCD. And if you also see 5 to 9 age group, even basic data of anthropometry, body composition, anemia, or micronutrients, or any kind of physical activity or NCD, there was almost none data. Some data was there from NNV, but those were mostly not national representative of all the states. If you try to look for Punjab and Haryana, you may not find there because that was not the states covered there. Again, coming to the 15 plus population, 15 to 19, again there was a huge data gap in micronutrients and NCD and physical activity, although there was few data on anthropometry anemia, but again detail of anthro was not there, only height and weight was there, right? So coming to this background, we conceptualize the comprehensive national nutrition survey. The name C, comprehensive, itself says why it is comprehensive, because it's taking the data for all the age group from birth to 19 years of age, and also the detail of anthropometry, detail of biochemical. If you see the objective is to assess the prevalence of malnutrition in both children and adolescents, basically birth to 19 years, and covering both undernutrition and overweight, obesity. And the second biggest, because this is Poshan Ma, and we know anemia is one of the key indicator for Poshan Abhiyan, right? I think you are also running the Qs competition, right? What are the 4 key indicators for Poshan Abhiyan, right? One is anemia, second is low birth weight, third is wasting, fourth is underweight. So if you see, so the anemia, we had the data, but not about detail about anemia, its cause of anemia, correlation of anemia, so and also anemia by gold standard method. So CNNS tried to bridge that gap, and also along with other micronutrient deficiency. I will come to detailed slide, and also the biomarkers of hypertension, diabetes. I mean detail of NCD among the school age children as well as adolescents. So this slide gives its length and breadth because we are telling it comprehensive nutrition. So it covers more than 110,000 children and adolescents for their anthropometry component and other. More than 50,000 biosample. Dr. Poonam has seen how difficult it was, and we have covered this much. And involving a big team of anthropometry, very intense data quality assurance, and so forth, so on. And more than 2,500 survey personnel, monitors. I mean, if you see the right panel, the lab detail, more than 200 lab technician, microscopist, and labo in the field. So this gives the complete picture how big it was. And of course, survey design, like as usual, it was a cross-sectional household survey, multi-stage, where you can see the right side map. The dot represent the PSU. PSU basically where we go. So if you focus on Punjab and Haryana, because that was the theme I was given, so you can see all the different component, different geography of Haryana, Punjab, not only Haryana, Punjab, all the country we have reached through this survey, in going through more than 2,000 PSU, primary sampling unit. Who know sampling, they can understand. But that covers more than 82% of our districts. Although this is not a district level survey or estimate, but that can gives you like, okay, more than 82% districts are covered in a national survey, and covering some PSUs more than one district. Sorry, some districts more than one PSU, or some are 2 or more PSU. So this dot represents like that. And sample size is specific to country you have seen, but in terms of specific to Haryana and Punjab, it was more than 3,000 in Punjab and Haryana both. You can see the right side, 3,048, 3,251 in Haryana. And for biosample, almost half of that. And for each age group, 1,000 or plus for household. And for Haryana biological, it was half of that. So that is represented for each age groups, and we have divided sampling and design and result in 3, under 5, 5 to 9, as well as 10 to 19. So as I was talking, I think there is something wrong happening. I don't know what is happening. My slide, somebody is painting. Is it me? Okay, now this is better. Can you hear me? Dr.
Yes,
Poonam?
sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are
बीच में स्लाइड पे पेंटिंग आ जा रही है. I don't know what was that. You can also see or only I am seeing?
yes. No sir, we can also see.
Okay. But मेरे अगल बगल कोई
Savitesh,
छोटा
I
बच्चा
think
नहीं. Disclaimer ये है कि मेरे आसपास कोई छोटा बच्चा नहीं है. There is some bug. Okay. So in terms of anthro data, I mean, apart from height and weight, we also measured MUAP. People must be aware, and tricep thickness and also waist circumference for different age group. You can see here. And in terms of biochemical, because this is the survey which gives detail about biochemical, micronutrients as well as NCD, where we capture anemia and hemoglobinopathy, inflammatory biomarker for C-reactive protein, first time ever in country. Protein also we have, and in micronutrients C like iron, we have vitamin A, zinc, B vitamin, vitamin D, as well as urinary iodine. And if you see the NCD, we have captured BP, sugar by both either blood fasting sample as well as HbA1c. You know, people are mostly from HCO background. You know much more than even me. Like HbA1c gives like background of past 6 weeks. So that is a confirmatory and how you people are managing their sugar, and also lipid profile in detail, including renal function. Of course, agency involved. This was a massive task, big survey reaching across the country. So it was under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare leadership, supported by us, UNICEF, and technical support. We have involved many agencies like not only national but also international. You can see all the known name. Either it is USCDC for quality control. You can also see PGIMER, AIMS, NIN, Kalavati Saran, CDSA, and management side was from Population Council, and survey we involved survey agency, and biological sample collection was and analysis was from CDC under a close supervision and monitoring by SRL team. So I'm not going in that detail, but just want to make you sure quality assurance was a paramount. Before even analyzing result and going to survey analysis, we ensured that the quality issue has to be maintained not only for survey and so, but also the biochemical, like its monitoring of from SMS, whether things are reaching on time or not, whether samples are transported on a specific temperature or not. So, and also data loggers, and also I think if you see the report, or I can share this PowerPoint for your detail, and feel free to ask any kind of questions at the end. And some of the quality measures we have also published before even coming to the result part, like how was the effect of time and temperature and delay, and how that sample was stable enough to produce the result. And also one component, because CNNS used the gold standard method from Vein, and all the other survey they have used HemoCube. So there was a huge difference in terms of results. So we compared how they behave. And other different kind of methodological paper are already in public domain. I mean, one can search and see those. So coming to the result, and before result, I will present focusing on Haryana and Punjab, and also comparing where they stand in terms of India average. I want to remove this. Yes, I can. Yes, good. So if you see the Haryana in terms of stunting as well as Punjab, so there is no much difference. The prevalence is almost same. If you see the point prevalence difference, but I think people are from research and student angle also. So if you see the confidence interval of both estimate, like Haryana, they are overlapping. Although the point estimate is 34 and 34.9. Similarly for Punjab, 25.7, 24.3. The confidence interval, this bar on the top, they are overlapping. This means there is no significant difference, right? But in all India level, there was decline from 38% to 34.7% in stunting. If you see the situation of, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Dr. Poonam, can you hear me? Yeah. I just making sure, because sometimes, yeah. So I can't skip the second slide. I don't know what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, now I can. So this slide is about wasting. Wasting is quite interesting data, but we have to be careful on the seasonality part also, because sometimes in terms of all India level 21 to 17, the wasting prevalence has come down, but not much significant once you see the seasonality part. But in terms of wasting in Haryana and Punjab, there is a huge decline, you can see, right? And that's a good component. This means you have better food security. I think there was some clue about how you will ensure food security in an environment. This means that is being implemented and Posan Abhiyan is working out. And in terms of prevalence of underweight, which is a composite measure of acute malnutrition, because it takes care of wasting as well as stunting. So there is no much progress in Haryana as well as Punjab. Both are almost stable, right? And also if you see the all India level, not much progress, a small decline, but except Jammu and Kashmir and Uttarakhand, you can't find a significant difference. So you can see how difficult these indicators of interventions are to change this. So we need to do much more. First time we have measured MUAC data. I mean, the MUAC gives the more severe case about severe malnutrition children, and the situation of Haryana and Punjab was close to the national level, like 3.7, almost 4% in Punjab as well as 5% in Haryana, and national average was also 5%. Coming to the next age group, this is the first time CNNS collected this age group data, and we can see the stunting level was, although low after under 5, but in 5 to 9 it was 22% at all India level, but still there. I mean, it's not like because so far the standard measure is we measure the stunting in under 5, but what is happening to the next population? They are still there. This means our intervention, our food habit, our all focus to reduce or to eliminate is not really working well. So other age group are still, and they are very crucial age group. They are in school. They need to study more. They have to be more fit. So you can see the situation. But of course, Punjab and Haryana situation is better than all India level, but still there is scope to reduce. In terms of thinness, again Punjab, they are more thin, but after a few slides you can see why they are thin, because the other component, other part of malnutrition, which is overweight, obviously that is more in Punjab. That's why you see thinness is less, 12%, and in Haryana 20%, whereas national average is 23. But that has a different component also. Just a second. Let me mute. Yes, I was talking about this overweight and obesity among 5 to 9. The Punjab was thinner than India average, but overweight and obese than the India average, and Haryana is better, right? So I'm not going in that detail. Thinness in adolescent, that's again more than almost similar situation is continuing. This means the thinness, whatever we are seeing in under 5, little less in 5 to 9, but that is continued till the adolescent age, and situation is around 18 to 20%, but lesser than national average. Good part is that, because we tell Haryana and Punjab are better off. But overweight, obesity again on rise. Punjab is more than double the national average, and Haryana is closer to the national average. Anemia, quite big burden since long, and we are not making a big dent. No matter what survey you see, anemia is still there. Although the prevalence is slightly lower because of methodology, but under 5 in Haryana close to 50%, Punjab 40%, closer to national average of 40%. But over the age it's going down, but again in adolescent that is more. And this slide is quite interesting. There is a big gender divide. In India level, more than double among female than male. Similar kind of situation is there in Haryana, 22 versus 41, and again in Punjab almost 2.5 times among female. So, and we have also seen by age up to 10 years there is no much difference, but after 10 there is a huge difference in the male female anemia prevalence. If you see the iron deficiency, this is very shocking and people should note it. Why that is maximum in Punjab and Haryana, the deficiency, that's much more than India average. I mean, almost double in Haryana. I'm just talking about under 5, and even more than double in Punjab. Maybe because of not iron-rich diet, maybe more vegetarian diet, right? So I think this team is mix of researcher and programmer and Poshan Abhiyan champion. So please see this data and see what more can be done to make this indicator better. Vitamin E deficiency, I think if you see the national average is quite close to the global recommendation of supplementation, but in terms of Haryana and Punjab, they are either same level of national level or more. So vitamin A is still an issue there. Vitamin D, again alarming. Like I was thinking what 3 or 4 things can be seen as a very different in Haryana and Punjab. So one was iron, second is vitamin D. Punjab is sometime adolescent age is close to crossing 70 or more, like in school age also 76%. In Haryana also it's higher than the national average. So either our kids are playing in sun, they are going out or not. So those are the issues, because and it's not just like food, it's again the other habit. Diabetes, this was quite surprising for us. Why Punjab is higher than Haryana? Sorry, Haryana is like topping, because you can also see in all slides other North Indian states. I'm not comparing Punjab, Himachal, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand. They are like in a similar kind of geography. So this is quite high region. I think the local expert can be telling more like what is the reason, right? Cholesterol again quite similar to national level in Haryana as well as Punjab. We did find LDL as well as HDL in Haryana, Punjab, little lesser than the national average. This is good news, because all news should not be very bad or shocking. And but Punjab and Haryana, if we have done a great achievement in adequate hydrogenation of salt and even the iodine. If you see this lighter dark between 100 to 109, this is a median, and Punjab across the age group, they are on the adequate level of urinary iodine. But Haryana was more than adequate, because they are in the darker part. Right? The median is close to 250 or more. And all India, either they were adequate or more than adequate. Only the excess was there in Tamil Nadu. But of course, they are on borderline sometimes. So we have to be careful in salt consumption. And SSI is already doing that intervention, how to make control of थोड़ा कम चीनी, थोड़ा कम नमक, थोड़ा कम तेल. I think ये ad देखा होगा सब लोगों ने, right? Dr. Poonam, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are
Yes,
audible.
sir, you
Okay,
are audible, sir.
Okay. बीच बीच में चेक कर ले रहे हैं कि हम अकेले तो नहीं बोल रहे हैं.
नहीं
Okay,
नहीं sir,
so
we
this-
all are here.
good. नहीं बिल्कुल म्यूट है तो I have to make sure. Okay, so based on all the findings, we are having different policy group discussion for national level, but I will encourage to that particular state level implementing team or policy maker or program implementer to make cognizance of the CNNS recent data, at least on those indicators where program is there or discussion is there, right? So we had done more analysis about the relation between anemia and iron, and still found about 50% iron is because of anemia is because of iron. So program must focus not just iron anemia but other part of that. So the discussion is going on policy group, but still 50%, because if you see the coverage of iron through different program in different age group, still we are not up to the mark. So that is one. Second, vitamin A deficiency at all India level, we found almost 10 states, more than 20%, which is recommended by WHO to run the program. So Punjab and Haryana was also higher or closer to that. So that intervention, not just supplementation, but also dietary diversification and fortification has to be addressed. Vitamin D, the new issue, emerging more in northern part of India, whatever we see in the data, that we know there is some fortification in milk and some part, so that has to be scaled up so that people have less, and also their physical activity and other components. So that again a separate policy group is working, but the state has to see the data and work accordingly. Urinary iodine we saw Punjab was also in adequate level, but Haryana was more than that. So this iodine data need to be examined in conjunction with salt consumption as well as population level at household level consumption, because our data is only the urinary iodine, but not the salt consumption. So, but that is also again alerting, and policy is in place, and but that has to be taken in our implementation. We should be controlling on our diet. And NCD, I mean, it was beyond imagination. The children of 5 to 9 and 10 to 19 years, they have such kind of high level of biomarkers. So the CVD, we think, okay, that will happen after 40 years or 50 years, but we have seen the marker are getting worse at early age, at adolescent age. So there has to be intervention in terms of good how to be healthy habits and diets and activity and all. So there is a separate working group and policy group working. We are working with WHO and ministry, so that detail will come out soon. So that was I think last slide. I will like to acknowledge all the partners: Population Council, AIMS, NIN, PGI, CDSA, USCDC, and our donor Aditya and Mega Mithal for this opportunity to conduct this survey. And this is the last slide where we can see all the data you can find in fingertip. Even this half of this presentation are available in public domain. Once you go, you can see all the reports and facts by states, PowerPoint, and also we have done the unit level data dissemination. And we also send the portion weekly every week on different nutrition issues. So maybe whoever is interested, they can subscribe directly. I will share this PowerPoint with Dr. Poonam. And not only CNNS data, you see the right side, you can see the tree and also map and also the trend. The trend has used NFHS different round on all the indicator you talk about. I mean, I just gave 1 or 3 indicator, but whatever nutrition data, if you are searching, your search will in this www nutrition India info. So with this, I would like to thank, but will request you to see this and visit there and use your data in a very comprehensive manner. So I'm ending here, but I think I'm presenting this slide as last slide so that people can note that better. So thank you all, and I will happy to discuss whatever questions and discussion is there. Over from my end.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the audience? What are the policy interventions to avoid NCD risk in childhood? Okay.
Okay. Where is this is in the chat box?
Yes, sir. It's in chat box. This is from Rachna Srivastava to everyone.
Okay.
What are the policy interventions to avoid NCD risk in childhood?
See, in terms of intervention, because if you see the school guideline, right? Because in most of the children, you can implement intervention where your subjects or your population is interacting much more, right? So if you talk about 5 to 9 and 10 to 19, our 90% or so are in school, and the school has a dedicated period. But again, the lack of infrastructure, all school must not be having failed. So some interventions, some policies are already there, but of course we need to see the data, and because of the prevalence is too high, and we do have a detailed data on the screen timing, their physical activity. Dr. Poonam know, I mean, how
Yes.
the data was for policy use. So that is being analyzed, and very soon, maybe because I'm also a part of different policy group, and we are working very closely for making a very operational intervention. So wait for few more months, so maybe by end of this year, all the detailed policy implications and policy suggestions and policy group together with UNICEF, WHO, and ministry will come out, involving other experts. But of course, you know what are the interventions. But the point is how to reach out that intervention. We know what to be done for a particular precautions, but the coverage, sensitivity of that indicator. Like we know breastfeeding will reduce malnutrition, right? But still the coverage is 40% or 50%. Either you talk about initiation of breastfeeding. So in the same line, we know NCD will not happen once we avoid junk food. And if you talk about Punjab especially, you go to the Ludhiana market or Chandigarh and you see like samosa, chaat and all. I mean in North India, we take much more than the Southern India, right? So how to consume less those fatty food, how to less stress. I mean, 3 or 4 key indicator is known from the literature side, but how to implement, and that's a challenge, and the policy intervention will need to focus on that. So maybe I think there is no bullet answer to decree, but how to really change the lifestyle, dietary, all those.
So there is one another interesting question. I think name is not mentioned. It's coming Lenovo. Is there any nutritional problems in COVID, sir? So I think
Yes, very interesting.
yes.
People are doing nutrition. I mean, see, that goes without saying, without even having data. If people are in distress, people are having income problem. But of course, there are huge intervention to make sure there is no food insecurity. But there is no big data at all India level. But there are small survey in terms of perception, their access and all. But national level or state level, nutrition data is not there where we can estimate actually like keeping in as a baseline and post COVID or during COVID or during lockdown what happened. But there are lots of small survey people have done at different areas. What happened, how people are secure in terms of food and all. So of course, I mean, if you have a challenge in work, challenge in your access, the situation access is much less, right? Like thousands or millions of people have migrated, they are out of job. But I think there are huge intervention also from different departments and from government where food security is tried to be ensured. So there, but I think at least to my knowledge, there is no big data on national level, but a small data people are collecting, discussing, but there is no authentic or government data on that.
Okay, I think let's take other questions. Sharing, we have a question from Sharing Bhag. This is the last question we will be taking. How we will be creating awareness in family using house-made food and healthy food for family members?
That I think I would like to hear from. I would like to hear from audience how they are doing at grassroots if they are
Yes,
working at
sir.
grassroots, and what are the challenges they are facing.
I think this
What
is a question from all of us. How?
No, that's a very pertaining question,
Yeah.
because what is happening, we have a lot of interventions at different level. Like if you talk about a very rural village where one ASA is there and one Anganwadi worker is there, and no matter what program you talk about, the intervention point, we are saying that ASA and Anganwadi worker will do all kind of behavior change communication in VHND or some supplemented by media or mass media or mid media, whatever. But how really they are being taken? Like I'm implementing something on mobile messaging, but how many people are seeing that? How many after seeing they are discussing with family, they are implementing? So behavior change in terms of nutrition related behavior, even like hand washing. I think COVID has done some positive thing also. People hand washing behavior, they are using mask and not spitting in public. So nutrition is a multi-sectoral, right? People will agree. You just not like you eat very healthy, but not manage your wash, not manage your other component, and you will be fit. No. For having a bit malnutrition free, I mean, nor underweight and neither overweight, you have to do a lot of like एकदम बैलेंस करके चलना है. Your audience also understand Hindi, right? तो जो एक इक्विलिब्रियम और बैलेंस करना किसी भी कंपोनेंट में इज नॉट इजी, राइट? आई मीन आपको ओवरवेट भी नहीं होना, अंडरवेट भी नहीं होना. We see like after lockdown, our children are getting obese because they are not out, they are not going in field because of COVID fear. So in terms of implementation, it's like a people movement. This month, Poshan Abhiyan is what? पोषण अभियान क्या था कि we have to create a mass movement. It's not like one frontline worker job to make aware of women or child or their family. It has to be taken by the whole people as a जन आंदोलन एजेंडा. पोषण अभियान क्या है? Why we are celebrating this पोषण month? Why we are talking about पोषण messages? So it has to be a people's agenda, of course. Behavior change communication, how to reach in very simplistic form, how to implement that has been a challenge, has remained a challenge, but of course at different levels, like in some we read Kerala, some Kudamsri model, some other model where they use the locally grown food, kitchen garden and all. So there are lots of intervention which has made the impact, and we have to learn and implement in not just in few geography but across the country to get our overall indicator in a better set.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for such an interactive, informative, and interesting session. I just would like to update you after Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey, initiative has been taken up by Haryana government. They have started with state excellence for anemia control, Anemia Mukt Haryana. And for urinary iodine, one of our PhD student, she is working, doing household visits and collecting data on urinary iodine at Punjab. And for vitamin D, even we also found in our Sangol health post that school going children, they are really deficient in that, and we need to think about that thing. We have to plan some intervention and programs for that. And there was a query for nutritional problems during COVID-19. So, we were working with single parent children in village Sanghol. And we were doing interventions also for improving their mental health and nutritional status also. And we found that due to COVID-19, the intervention package we were providing, that was not received by the beneficiaries well in time. And when their, hemoglobin levels were recorded, it was found that they were moving back to the levels, वापस उनका फिर वो कम होना, down होना.
Before the baseline status.
Yeah, baseline
in a
status.
sense of intervention.
Yeah, हाँ जी sir. So there are, nutrition is a field where we need to work hard, and especially the behavior change communication is a bigger challenge, because it is not a one-day plant package or 1 month plant package. We have to really work hard, and best the thing starts from home itself. So audience, I request you all, we have to take pledge from our side that we will be, trying and working hard to retain our nutritional status, as well as, guiding our families and peers for taking up the nutrition challenges and good healthy practices for, healthy life and healthy and wealthy life. So with this, thank you so much, sir, for coming and giving your precious time to us, sir.
Yeah, thank you, and sorry for being late because my
No, sir, it was great, sir.
But I think I see you people are enjoying. I will like to give last message,
Yes.
because nutrition intervention is not a vaccination. कि आपने पोलियो की 2 खुराक खिला दी, पूरी जिंदगी पोलियो नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं है. आपको हर दिन, हर समय, हर वीक, हर महीने, देखिए थोड़ी सी कोविड हो गई, गरीब लोगों को खाना नहीं मिला, उनका भी आपने बताया ना कि उनका वो कम हो गया है, और जो रिच फैमिली है उनकी ओवरवेट ओबेसिटी और बढ़ गई. तो it's not a vaccine की one time, it's like daily routine business, and we have to be active and implement intervention. So we have said a term that has been very coined, C square IQ: coverage, continuation, intensity, and quality in terms of whatever intervention, and that has to be regular. So thank you all, and have a very productive Poshan Ma, and not just Ma, but 365 days of Poshan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.